Before we start, I want to thank Powermonger that provided me the background footage you're seeing in the background, and I want to thank Andrew Miller for playing Gaben. You will see soon. Enjoy the video. How long can a game be in early access? 1 year? 2 years? 3 years? What about 6 years? Humans, did you get that? That was a callback to the Upnori episode. Link in the description. Also, like and subscribe. I understand humans because I'm a human. Okay, 100% born and raised on Earth. Anyway, let me take you back to the year 2013. Steam is I emphasize the PC games platform. Origin? Pfft, I spit on that. Uplay? Pfft, away with those Frenchmen. Bethesda launcher? It doesn't even exist. And Epic? Just another failing company. Well, they have the whole engine thing. I'm trying to tell a story here, okay? So let me tell the story and I'll let you know when the story's over. Suspend your disbelief for a second, okay? Thanks. So, it's the year 2013. Steam is in tip-top shape. Gamers all over the world bask in the summer and winter sales glory, and suddenly Lord Gaben himself blesses us with a Steam Early Access program.
Yes, it is me, Lord Gaben, and I am here to give you more games. They might be unfinished, but some of those will have a huge amount of success. How do I know that? Well, I'm Lord Gaben, and I can predict the future.
But what is this mysterious early access program? Well, it was a way for developers to get feedback from the community and update their game until the game is ready for launch. As an added bonus, the developers can earn some money to cover some of the development costs. The early access program should not be used to fund your project though, which is clearly defined in the EAP guidelines. Your intention, well, there is no guideline that tells you that you should finish your game, but there is also nothing that tells you that you should cancel a game, so yeah, you can stay in early access forever, basically. Steam won't do anything. The game we're talking about today is in EAP since pretty much the inception of the program. In fact, it was released into early access on the 2nd of July 2013, but that's not the inception date of the game because in 2016 there was a demo release for the game in another engine, and if you want to go back further, there seems to be a version done in the source engine, but I couldn't find any evidence for that. So yeah, that might not be true, but the 2006 demo, that's definitely true. You can look it up. It's true. At least what I could see from the YouTube channel, the 2006 demo looked pretty good for that year. Was fine. To be honest, the trailer doesn't show much, so I really can't judge the game, and also none of that matters because it seems that the game was redone in another engine, as far as I know, but let's go through this in an organized manner. First, descriptions. Update 28 available. Interstellar Marines is an immersive tactical sci-fi first-person simulator in the making, offering a unique blend of tactical gameplay, dynamic environments, and non-scripted AI, placing a player or co-op PvP on servers around the world. Update 28 available. Doesn't tell me anything. And the people that are already engaged with the production of the game are not going to look at this part of the Steam page. Instead, they're going to look at the updates tab or discussion tab or the reviews. I understand why this was done, but don't do this. Your description is kind of your calling card and it should answer 3 basic questions. What is the game? How do you play it? And what is your unique selling point? If you feel like you have to update people in your description, that doesn't really scream reassurance. And once this stays there for the next weeks without change, this will start to look really bad really quickly. Think about it. Once the update has been released, when the day has passed, it's already old news. Maybe people that arrive at the page 1 or 2 days after the update will appreciate the info, but once 1 or 2 weeks passes, or a month goes by, it just looks like something the developer forgot to remove, and by extension, the site looks abandoned. My point is, your description is not your update tab. Your update tab is your update tab. Also, it doesn't help if the recent updates on the bottom of the Steam page shows that update 29 is out and the description still shows that update 28 is out. Hey, it's me, and I noticed that it's time again for correction time. So, update 29 is not out at the time of the recording, and when I was writing the script, it's just an update that is coming out. I didn't notice that until now, so now you know. My point still stands that you shouldn't do updates in your description. Not a good idea. On with the video. So yeah, not a great idea to put updates in your description. And hey, it can happen that you forget to update something sometimes. I forget to add things to the description all the time. Not a big deal to be honest, but I'm also not selling anything yet. I, as a consumer, want reassurance that the product will be finished, and as a developer, you have to have a near perfect presentation, which includes even the smallest thing like a description to give the assurance I'm looking for when I'm investing in an early access game. Then it's that understandable? Yes, let me know in the comments if that sentence made sense. Next up, the reviews. Here we have almost 4K reviews, but after 6 years of development time, what do you expect really? We have overall mixed reviews, and recent reviews are very negative. Not a good look, and most of the recent reviews are bringing up the fact that the game has been in IAP for around 6 years and nothing has changed much, which I'm inclined to believe partially, the reason for that being that there is other information that we will soon see that backs this up partially. The next thing I would like to take a look at is the website of the game and their social media game, so let's have a look. Don't do this, not even as a joke. If you don't have a website, that's totally fine, but don't do this. What has been done here is called a waste of time. I, as a consumer, think to myself the description for PA in this thing, oh, the developer's a little bit incompetent, or misleading, or both. I'm already on a Steam page I want to be. Please explain to me what purpose does a link has that refers back to the site that I'm already on. I don't see the purpose here, and frankly speaking, this just raises another red flag. Mistakes can happen, but these are the things that people that are looking for IAP titles are going to notice. To be honest, this is really doesn't scream reassurance, and the last thing you want to trigger inside your customer when you're trying to sell someone an unfinished product is insecurity. Next on the line is the update tab, and that's a weird one. The game came out on the 2nd of July 2013, and the same month we got a few updates. From then on, we got almost every month an update. Early 2016 rolls around and there's a long pause. 2017, 2018, same thing, and then finally 2019. This could tell me one of two things. Either the game is basically finished and just being polished up, and there are not many updates to make, or the development of the game has died down. Given that there's a post that explains that from the original crew that worked on the game, there's only one person left, I'm inclined to believe that development has died down, which is only partially true. We will see why later. I am generally speaking not okay with the regular nature of the updates. A monthly update should be a minimum, but at this point, anyone that is considering buying the game would have probably seen too many red flags to move on. There are thousands of titles out there. If you do not impress with your presentation, well, you won't get a second chance probably. The troubles don't end here though. Once you look at the company's history, things get even more unclear. So here's the quick rundown. If you want the whole story, I linked everything in the description. 2016, demo for the game is shown. The studio gets an Unreal license and investors. 2018, financial crisis rolls around, investors jump off, most of the staff has to be fired. Unreal Engine not feasible anymore, so they switch engines. 2012 Kickstarter that fails. 2013 IAP. Between 2013 2016 small campaigns released. 2017 only one original member remains, and at some point prior volunteer developers are introduced, and that is where we are right now. That's quite a journey, and again, as a consumer, I'm going to look at that and think again, is this a safe investment? For most people, probably not. Before taking a look at the discussion tab, let me talk about something called the medium break. It's a term I heard in marketing once. A medium break refers to breaks a customer experiences once they are a tunnel through the customer acquisition process. Here's an example. Should I go to the Steam page, I'm going to look at it and try to figure out if I want to learn more about the game or maybe buy it. Let's assume on the dedicated sidebar there are links to Twitter, YouTube and Discord. For me as a customer, it's really easy to click on that and not get thrown out of the customer acquisition process. The media that is being used to acquire me as a customer flows smoothly, and the chance for me to be convinced that I want this product has increased just by adding those links on the sidebar. Now let's say instead of the links we just have unclickable banners that have links written on them. I, as a customer, I'm not going to type out the URL and go searching for stuff I'm not super interested in. The medium being used to acquire me as a customer has been broken. The chance of me being convinced that I want this product has been lowered just by not putting the links where they should be. My point? Put your melly-telly damn social media on the fucking Steam page. It's really not that difficult. Because once you start digging a little deeper, you find much more. Did you know that Interstellar Marines has a Twitter, a Facebook site, a Twitch channel, a SoundCloud, an Apple playlist? And yeah, a YouTube channel. Why are those things not linked to the Steam page, may I ask? If someone finds that on a discussion tab or somewhere else, it's instantly going to trigger the question, are they trying to hide something? Clearly they are not, because they posted it as a question, but it's... your brain works that way, okay? And their social media game is actually not that bad. They have regular posts on Twitter and Facebook. Unfortunately, their Twitch game is non-existent and their YouTube game is weak. Pretty much like monthly updates should be a given. If you have a YouTube channel, you should have monthly updates as well, if not weekly. And if you really want to go for it, daily. And the YouTube channel is weird. You have stuff from 10 years ago that look pretty similar to what we can see now, except the improved graphics. It's just not a good look. Anyone that is going to look at this are going to think for themselves, what have they done in 10 years? And I know development takes time. It takes time. I know this. The development of a product is not easy, especially for a game. It's not easy. You have so many moving parts. You have story, you have graphics, you have gameplay, so many things. But, to be honest, I prefer this transparency rather than trying to hide anything. But at the same time, it's baggage what you have here. Well, the last thing we have to check out is the discussion tab, and it doesn't look that bad. We have recent posts from the developers that explains that they are not dead, an outline of the company's history from a more active member of the community. It's really good until you get to the posts that are not pinned. Of course, I'm being a little bit facetious here, but because the game has such a big hiatus, there are a lot of posts that talk about how the game is dead and how nothing has been done for a while and how the game has been revived several times. So, yeah. I actually talked to people that are involved in the game, and one of the reasons that the game has such a big hiatus is because the game is being developed by volunteers for a while now. Of course, you cannot expect a perfect product from people that are only working part-time and voluntarily on it. One of the things that was interesting to hear is that once the engine was updated from Unreal 4 to 5, a lot of bugs started appearing. The problem apparently wasn't with the Interstellar Marines code itself, but the engine, which I can understand. And that is why I never update my editing software once I'm working on a video. This wave of bugs caused a lot of damage in the player base, which is a shame because the game is actually not that bad. From what I've seen, the game looks good, has a nice gameplay. Apart from the AI, it's mostly fine. Apparently the game is even hosted on its own servers, which I find to be pleasant since most indie online games like to do the whole peer-to-peer thing, and peer-to-peer is most of the times inferior to dedicated servers. I think what is holding the game back are mainly two problems. Problem number one, expectations. In 2013, a game was promised that would be about space shark aliens in a great-looking engine and immersive gameplay. What we have right now is a decent single-player co-op shooter with a few campaigns and a mode akin to Battle Royale or PlanetSide. There is a disconnect between what Interstellar Marines once promised, what players that started the journey want from the game, and what the game is trying to be and is right now. From the negative reviews, I got the impression that the players want space sharks. And like I said, what we have right now is something completely different. Which brings us to the next problem. Problem number 2. Baggage. One of the things that you probably notice is that Interstellar Marines is in early access since 2013.
Say what?
Between 2013 and 2019, there's a lot of baggage. Now, the developers of Zero Point Software are very transparent. They laid out the history of the company and the game. They have a Trello, which is a tool to show customers what you're currently working on and give the customers a certain amount of security. The Discord, even though not the most active, is a very nice place. and I only had good experiences in it. Everyone seems to be trying to bring back the game and bring it to the finish line. One of the other things that is holding back the game is probably that they don't have a publisher and are currently looking for one. For a project of this scope, you need a team that works full time, and most of the time a publisher can provide the funds to keep up a team afloat for an extensive amount of time. But here's my educated opinion. This game will have a hard time finding a publisher or any investor. Ever. I might be wrong, but hear me out. Imagine this. I'm currently looking for a product to invest my money in. If I'm going to invest, I'm going to look at the product and turn every single stone to figure out what risks I have and how high will the return be. Essentially, what I'm doing is what I did in this video. I'm going to look at the Steam page, I'm going to look at the updates, I'm going to look at the discussions, and of course, I'm going to look at the outside sources. What I'm going to find as an investor is a bunch of red flags. Unpolished Steam page, irregular updates, company backed up by volunteer work, and this is just the superficial stuff. An investor would ask for various numbers like how much did a game make over the years, how much did it make last quarter, how many players are currently playing, how many players own the game, how big is the company's overhead, and so on and so on. Of course, all of those things I mentioned are only educated assumptions. Depending on the investor or publisher, things are going to be different, but generally speaking, this is how most of this stuff goes down. You ask for everything. Alright, now that I have talked about all of this, why not talk to developers themselves, shall we? That is what I would have said if it would have worked out with the developer, but I think family and health goes first, and the developer seems to be busy right now, so yeah. It's not happening. And here's the thing. I think the game at this point has too much baggage. As harsh as it sounds, I think that a complete rebranding of the game would be the best way forward. Be transparent, cancel this project, rebrand the game, make new assets, figure out what the game is actually about, give everyone that bought the game a free copy once you relaunch the game under a new IP, and most importantly, be as transparent as possible. That's basically it. And yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say invest in this one. It seems pretty far-fetched that this one will be finished. I hope it will finish someday, but I mistrust most of early access titles, so don't take my word for it. Just think for yourself. Thank you for watching my video. I hope I was fair enough towards the game and towards the developers. As always, take care of yourselves and have a nice and wonderful day.